Hello, everybody. I am Sophia Parola with the Garden State Film Festival, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing these wonderful people behind the making of the short film, The Killer Across the Street. How's everybody doing?
Doing all right. Doing very good. Thank you.
Hanging in there, which is the new fabulous, as I say.
I know, as long as we are all breathing and, hanging in there, like you say, Wally, we're doing good. Congratulations, guys. I really loved this short film. I can't wait to talk to you guys about it. But first, I'd love for you both to introduce yourselves and your title in the film, starting off with you, Adam.
Very good. I'm Santiko, writer, director, producer, and lodger, because everyone stayed at my house. I guess that, that count for something.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, we shot where I live for the second film in a row. I burnt both houses, so next movie I have to find a new location.
That's awesome. So we had to give your house some credit too. And Wally?
Yes, hi, I'm Wally Marzano Lesnevich, and I was an actor in the film by the good graces of Adam and the amazing cast and crew. Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Adam, I would love for you to tell our viewers a little synopsis about what your short film is about.
Let's see, a short one. The log line basically is a bored stay-at-home husband grows suspicious of his next-door neighbor and starts playing rear window games with him, basically, for lack of a better term. And I'm afraid of giving anything else away in case somebody wants to come see it, because there's a lot of twists and turns to this one.
There is. I did not expect what happened. So I have to congratulate you on that because I love unpredictable movies. I'm always like, oh, I know what's going to happen. And I really didn't know this time. So congrats. So Adam, I'd love to ask you what your inspiration was for writing this film.
Unfortunately, this is a pretty lame story. What happened was I was having a night of insomnia. And I looked over at my DVD shelf and there's The Burbs. I hadn't seen it in years. And so I plopped it in at 4 a.m. and went, they don't make movies like this anymore. Wait a minute, I'm a filmmaker. I can make a movie like this. And that's kind of where everything kind of spun out. Now, naturally, I didn't do just Burbs. I needed some sort of hook to it. So I threw in everything from Reanimator to Evil Dead to, God, you name it, De Palma, whatever the hell. But yeah, the impetus of the film was basically me watching The Burbs at 4:30 in the morning, one random night.
Wow, that's amazing. I mean, I'm happy that you had insomnia that night then, because something great came out of it. And I'd love to ask you, I mean, so you write the script and then you guys film it, and was it how you saw it in your head? What was the filming process and the whole experience like for you, Adam, being that writer and director?
It's funny because this was probably the most collaborative I got to be with, not just the crew, but the cast as well. As far as it being in my head, how it turned out, it's pretty much exact with two wonderful exceptions, which was the character of Officer Hill, played by Matt, and the character of Norm, the villain, he's played by Chris Ross, both of which were very different on the page. I saw Officer Hill kind of a backwoodsy sheriff type, and I saw Norm as a very manic character. And when Matt and Chris both read respectively, they had very different takes on the characters. And I thought to myself, wait a minute, this isn't what I wrote, but this is working. This is really working, as a matter of fact. So basically, with that, what I do with all the actors going forward, I sit down with them beforehand. While I can attest to this, is all right, what can you bring? What ideas do you have? I don't want to just shoot what I'm seeing on the page. I want you to add some dimensionality to it, kind of put your spin on it. And as far as, like, again, Chris and Matt's concerned, Matt played Hill as a bit more weaselly, and Chris played Norm more calculated, more drawn out. And I think that both added to the film immensely as a result of that.
Absolutely. I love that. And I mean, I'm sure Wally added something to the film, because Wally, I have to, like, as the lead and just that person that we're seeing pretty much most of the time throughout the film, you were so great. And one of the things I love about your film, Adam, is you have this like thriller on the edge of your seat story, but at the same time it's comedic. And Wally, your character added a lot of that comedy. So I'd love to ask you about your character development and just how you went about this character in your film and the process of acting in this film.
Well, thank you. You know, so much of that really was Adam. I don't, you know, I don't want him to think that it wasn't, because it was really there on the page. The bathrobe that my character wears during the movie also did so much of the work for me. You know, it was just the perfect piece of wardrobe that also spoke to character and where we are. And it's funny, I was thinking about how my character, the bored house husband who stays at home, in hindsight was a harbinger of all of pandemic to come. Here was a guy who was so comfortable with never really leaving his house. And when we filmed this in the October before lockdown and quarantine, it was sort of like, oh, we're all going to be living like this soon in our bathrobes at 3 p.m. But I also have to say that a lot of it came from Morgan, who played opposite me, and Chris. You know, they just made it so easy to play off of each other. And Adam and Bob really helped me find the humor, you know, whether it's some of the physicalities, the great props department with the big Sunday. There was a lot of places to find humor in ways that I know you cited Hitchcock, that Hitchcock sometimes has and sometimes doesn't. De Palma certainly has. And I think that you really brought that to the forefront. So I really enjoyed it.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more. Adam, I'd love to ask you, how long did this film take to just the whole process, like pre-production, and then we have the filming and then post? How long did it take in total? I know you filmed in October, you said, but yeah, what was the length?
It's funny because we really dragged post out because of the pandemic. You know, we wanted to kind of use that to our advantage where, okay, we're not doing any in-person festivals for a while, so let's really perfect this film as a result of it. I think ultimately it could have taken 6 months from pre-production to, you know, filming to post, but we dragged out post for, you know, a good, you know, 3-4 months longer to really hammer it out and really perfect it. I'll give you a good example for that. We didn't have a post-credit song for the film to start with. We were going to just use the song that Ryan wrote for that montage of Wally kind of goofing around the house, and that was going to be our closing credit song. But because of the pandemic and because we dragged the process out a little bit longer, we were able to find somebody, Andrew and Christian, who did a phenomenal job with that song, and we actually were able to cut and produce a post-credit song as a result of that. So yeah, it could have taken 6 months, but really, because of the pandemic, we stretched out to like 9-10 months. And I think we have a better film as a result of that.
Yes, that's amazing to know. And I mean, speaking of that montage that the wonderful Wally had with the music, was a lot of that on the script? Was it staged? Did we improv anything? How was that for you, Wally?
It was great. It was all of it. It was so much fun. You know, there was a lot of it that was in fact on the paper, but playing with the toys or the lightsabers, it was a joy because you get to connect to your inner kid. This character has so much of that I certainly love playing. Just to also add on the post question, you know, and you bring about the point that it was so much of it was all done during the pandemic. I had a very early pandemic filmmaking experience where Bob and Adam dropped off some equipment for me, and I had to do some ADR through the Zoom camera, you know, an idiot actor fiddling with the sound equipment, not really sure what he's doing. And this was even before I had done some pandemic web series Zoom acting for that. So it was a very early, like, oh, this is how it's going to be for a little while. And they were great with me and very, you know, supportive.
Wow, that's amazing. I always wonder, especially with COVID and everything going on with the pandemic, how people are remotely still making films. And just so that's so interesting that you trusted Wally with all your equipment and to do this. Very awesome. So I'm sorry, Adam, did you want to say something before?
No, I said thank Bob. It was his Zoom recorder.
I don't
So
think
my
I
last
broke anything. I don't think
But you
so.
did. You were very good
That's
with it.
good.
Awesome, guys. So lastly, I just want to ask you why you wanted to submit to Garden State Film Festival and what it means having your short film premiere at Garden State this year, Adam.
That is an excellent question. I've always looked at Garden State for the clique of people we all run with. Like it's almost like I don't want to use the phrase like the home base festival, but it kind of feels very much like the home base festival. This is kind of the big one where like all of our connections kind of met at first, specifically, it's where I met maybe not Wally the first time, but it's how I kind of knew Wally almost through osmosis because Bob had gone with Andrew Shores with Cabinet in the Woods, and that's how Wally got kind of brought into the fold. And Morgan got through those 48s also kind of came in, and almost like this entire team almost came from connections through Garden State to a degree. So it means a lot because again, it kind of feels like a home festival for anything else, and it's always great to go back to Garden State. So to make a long story short, it's almost like a homecoming, and obviously with the year that we've had, it feels right that this is the first one.
I love that, Adam. I mean, wonderfully said. And I think you really, as you said, home base, our Garden State really is like a family, and they love just to welcome their New Jersey filmmakers, but just new and old ones that have been there before. I mean, it's such a loving place. And Adam, I met you through a film that got accepted into Garden State, Been a While, who I also met Bob on there, which was your DP. I met Wally at Garden State. It's awesome, the networks that are always created through Garden State. So I'm happy that you mentioned that, Adam. Thank you. And for everyone watching, I really want to tell everyone how they can see The Killer Across the Street, this amazing short film. It will be premiering Saturday, the 27th in the venue of Asbury Hotel in Asbury Hall, and the film block 5:15 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. So people can go in and watch in person, but also our virtual multipass users can watch at home as well, because we have a hybrid this year. So it's really awesome. I can't wait for people to watch this and laugh and be on the edge of their seat and, see something coming that maybe they didn't expect. So I really can't wait to see how people react to this short film.
Me too. I'm psyched for that, especially in person.
Yes. Will you guys be there? Adam, are you coming?
Yes, absolutely.
Wally, will you make it this year? I know you got a newborn.
I have to check with my newborn. She runs my schedule, so we'll find out.
Oh, it's awesome, guys. Congratulations again. And thank you so much for keeping in touch with Garden State. Your success is our success, and we love you guys.
Thank you so much. Take care.
I'm telling you, Norm is up to something.
Seriously?
One guy creates an awful lot of trash.
What are you doing, Norm?
So, here's what I've come up with. Two scary gentlemen hire Norm to carry out a hit. Throws the body in with the garbage and collects from the scary guys. Or he's running dog fights out of his basement. Or maybe I'm just paranoid and Norm hasn't done anything.
Paranoia creeping in my brain. Stop me now before I go insane. Watching from the window, playing wild theory bingo. Can't help overthinking about the hellish just beginning. Feeling right at home with a killer across the street.
Yeah, let's go with that.